Okay, all right. We can get started. Okay, there's the topics. Okay, I want to make sure I was recording. Okay, so we will do our homework and then we'll go into dividing polynomials. So thank you to those who sent in their homework.
I apologize, miss. It just work causing that.
Well, thanks to Latoya and Audrey, who both did very well on their homework. Okay, let's bring up our homework. Latoya, you and Audrey, where's Audrey?
Then I can see properly.
Yes, I'm on it.
Audrey didn't come on yet. Okay, Latoya.
You gave us a problem which you said no fraction. I never said that before because I didn't know what to do. I just put the division sign.
Okay, we'll go through it.
Audrey.
Barbara always
Yes,
try to
good
pull up
evening.
one song.
Hello, Audrey.
Yeah.
I'm saying you and Latoya can teach the class today. Because you both did so well on your homework. I say you.
I was rushing to go to my appointment this morning. I wrote down the wrong thing for that letter. One, it was B. I wrote the wrong thing there.
Don't worry, you part of a crowd that does that.
Oh my God.
Latoya did the same thing on something, right, Latoya? She had it on one paper right, and then she had it in.
Yeah.
But anyway, Latoya got her bonuses correct. Congratulations, Latoya. She got both bonuses.
Which was the bonus one?
Okay, the bonus ones were, let me pull my, okay. You had two bonuses. One was,
Number 5.
let's see, number 5 was a bonus. 10 points.
I couldn't put that into the, I don't know how to put in that answer. I had 6 to the second, plus 19y to the fourth, plus 9y to the fourth. I don't know if it was right.
Okay, we'll look. Well, it wasn't 9y to the fourth. And you had another bonus, number 1, the dimensions of the prism.
Oh, I didn't. I was trying to.
Maureen, are you here?
Yes, Miss Barbara.
Okay, let me.
Loud and clear.
Latoya, remind me if you can't see. I'll make it big. Can you see, Audrey?
Not yet. Not
Yes,
yet.
You can't see the degree of the polynomial?
Yes, I see that now. Yes,
Okay.
I see that.
Can you see it clearly? Audrey?
All.
Yeah, I see it. Yeah.
Okay, because Audrey has a problem sometimes seeing the screen. That's what I make sure. Okay, Maureen, read number 1 and give me the answer. I can't hear you.
I didn't do any.
I didn't. What did I ask you, Maureen?
It gave you the answer.
No, I said read it.
The degree of a polynomial. 5x to the power 5 plus 7x to the power 3 plus 2x to the power 5 plus 3x to the power 2 plus 5 plus 8x plus 4 is.
Now, how do you determine the degree of a polynomial? Maureen?
I don't know, Mr. Adams. Yeah,
Latoya, how do you determine the degree of the polynomial? Latoya? She's on mute. I think she's moving around. Audrey, how do you determine the degree of the polynomial?
The degree is the number after it is after the coefficient or something like that. I'm not sure.
Mercedes, do you remember?
It's the exponent, something or another.
Latoya, what did you say? How do you determine the degree of the polynomial?
It's because of the exponent.
Incomplete. I want to hear more.
Oh crap. That's the part I remember.
What about the exponent? It's the exponent, but what about it?
it have different level, degree, I don't know how to put it.
Vanessa, how do you determine degree of the polynomial?
I cannot remember, Miss Barbara. I remember last week you told us, but I can't remember.
Mercedes, you said you don't remember?
That's right, miss.
It's the variables with the highest power.
See,
Oh,
The variables with the highest power. It may be one variable, maybe two variables in a term. Like you could have 5x to a power and y to a power. So when you add them up, the highest powers would be the degree. So Maureen, if that's the case, what's the degree of number one, this problem?
A.
How did you get A?
I add up the two powers.
But what did
The
I
five.
just tell you? I didn't say add any powers. What did I say the degree was?
It's the highest, it's the highest.
Maureen, did you listen to me? What did I say the degree was?
I can't remember. I don't even know
The
if I
term
remember.
with the highest power.
Oh,
I
the
said
term with the
nothing
highest
about
power.
adding. So
Uh-huh.
Maureen, I ask you again, what is the degree of this polynomial?
Or the term of the highest number.
So what is it? It's a number. What is it?
5.
5. Very good, Maureen. 5. Because even though you see 5 there twice, they're still on the same level, right? So the answer would be what, Mercedes?
Answer be B.
Answer would be B.
Oh.
Any questions?
You let it answer, miss?
What was it, Mercedes? You said something?
Yeah, I'm saying, is that really the answer?
Maureen said 5, and 5 is the answer. The term with the highest power, and it appears twice. 5x to the 5th, 2x to the 5th. But it's still the highest. You don't add them. You don't add them to 10.
You just take and put in for the answer.
The only time you add is if you had two variables. Like you could have x, like for instance, let's just take this.
2, 5, 2, 4.
Like if I had this, let me put this. Okay, and then let me put another term here, okay? Not another term, another variable. Suppose I had y, and I put that 2. Now I add them. If that was 5x to the 5th, y to the 2nd, then the degree would be a 7. Because it's higher than all of the others, correct? Everybody following me?
Yeah.
So you don't add unless you have more than one variable in the term. You add up the powers on all the variables.
Uh-huh.
okay.
Mercedes, you had a question?
So the answer for that sample you gave us a while ago would be 7.
If I replace the 5x to the 5th by 5x to the 5th, y to the 2nd, then I would have to put a 7 in here as a choice, because that would be the highest power. 5 plus 2, 7, and the degree would be 7. But you don't add the powers when they are the same base. It's a 5 here, a 5 here. That doesn't increase it to 10. It's still 5, the highest degree, the way it stands now. Questions? Any
So, Miss
questions?
Barbara,
Yes, Vanessa.
why is it you put 5x to the 5th power, y to the 2nd? Can you?
No, I'm saying here, someone say you add the powers, and I said you add them if you have different variables. Like if I had 5x to the 5th, y to the 2nd, in place of 5x to the 5th, then I would add 5 plus 2 is 7. Then my degree would be a 7, not a 5. Just use an
Okay.
example. If you replace 5x to the 5th by 5x to the fifth y to the second, then I ask you, what is the degree of the polynomial? It will be 7 because this is higher than 5, 3, 2, 1, 0, 0. Got
Okay.
it?
Yes, Ms. Robert.
But you
Okay.
wouldn't add a 5x to the fifth with a 2x to the fifth to get a 10. That they're on the same level. Got it?
Okay, yes.
Any other questions on degree? Okay, let's go to number 2. And let me make that bigger. Okay, Audrey, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay, so you can give me the answers, right? Okay, what
Miss
is the
Solo-
degree? Okay,
Yes, thank you.
all right, now, what is the degree of this polynomial? Let's see if this will go on next. Okay, what is the degree of this polynomial, Audrey?
I have 5x to the 6.
So you have 6 then. 6, because the variable with the highest power is right here. There's nothing higher than a 6. A 6 there, a 5, a 4, 3, 2, a 1, and the constant, of course, is 0. Questions on number 2 for the degree?
So, Miss, it means that you just look for the variable that has the highest,
The highest power, highest exponent.
that's all it,
That's it.
oh,
But remember, if you have more than one variable, you've got to add up the powers on each variable for that term. So you could have 5x to the 6th, y to the 2nd, z to the 3rd, and you'd add up all those powers.
okay.
Okay, you got it?
And that would be the answer.
The answer would be 6 because 6 is the highest power on this polynomial.
Okay.
Maureen, offline, go to mute. Okay, leading coefficient. Mercedes, what is the leading coefficient? Number in front of the variable is called a coefficient. So 7 is a coefficient in front of the variable x raised to the power of 3. So what is the leading coefficient in this polynomial, Mercedes?
I'm trying to see if I understand the question, Miss. I wonder if it's 6, Miss. Is it highest number or what? Or
No.
is it one?
Leading coefficient, what did I say? I put it here for you. First coefficient. What's the first coefficient, Mercedes?
5?
What say it again?
Is that 5?
5, that is correct. Thank you.
Oh.
That's it, because 5 is the first coefficient. That's the number in front of the variable that's raised to a power.
Oh, so that's what you call it, the leading one.
That's called the leading coefficient.
That's a smart way to put it.
First, and I put it here so you see leading coefficient is the first coefficient in the polynomial. You know the difference between coefficients and variables, right? Anybody want to tell me the difference between coefficients and variables?
Various could be either a letter or
That's right.
a letter such as it could be X or Y or
A to
a
Z.
term.
A to Z. Variables
Right,
are
okay,
A to Z. Okay.
Okay.
Now what's a coefficient, Audrey?
coefficient is a number, like a negative, it could be negative or it could be positive.
No, I want to know
And
the
is it
definition of
variable?
a coefficient. What's the coefficient? What's
A
the definition of a
coefficient is-
coefficient?
A coefficient is a number before the variable.
That's it.
variable.
That's it. Thank you, Latoya. The number in front of the variable.
Mm,
Coefficients: 5, 2, -2, 7,
Friend.
-1, -1. All right. And of course, the 23 is a constant, doesn't have a variable. Okay, so these are your coefficients, the numbers that are in front of the variables. And they could be negative or they could be positive. Here, negative, negative, negative. Here, positive, positive, positive. Questions on differences in coefficients and variables?
No, miss.
Variables, any letter A to Z. Even though we kind of overuse the X, but it's any alphabet from A to Z. Now, what is the constant term, Maureen? Maureen, are you
Huh?
there? What is
Yes.
the constant term?
Answer is like, I don't know, 23.
23, that's it. Very good. That's the only constant here, right?
Yeah.
Everything else is a variable with a coefficient. 23. And what's the degree of this 23, Maureen?
I don't know.
No, you know that, Maureen. I've told you more than once. What's the coefficient? When the number is a constant, what is the degree? Audrey?
0.
0. Very good. Maureen, don't forget,
Oh,
a constant degree is 0. Always. Doesn't matter if it's 1,000, 100,000, 25, -5 is 0. Okay?
right.
Any questions on picking out the degree, leading coefficient, or the constant? No questions? Okay. All right, let's go to factoring. Now, let me make this bigger. Okay. Vanessa, what's your greatest common factor for those two coefficients? 36 and the -24. What's the greatest common factor?
Is it six?
GCF. What is it?
Is it 6? Let me see.
The greatest common factor of 36 and 24.
One moment. 6 4 is 24, right?
Yes.
And 6 6 is 36.
6 6 is 36.
Yes.
So what's the greatest common factor?
So therefore it's 6.
Uh-uh.
That the biggest number divides into 36 and divides into 24? Greatest. It is a factor, but I said the greatest.
The greatest. Let me see.
Of 36.
It can be 12.
That's it. Thank you, Vanessa.
12.
Greatest common factor is 12. 12 goes into 36 3 times, into 24 2 times.
2 times.
Okay. Now,
Yes.
you have x to the 4th and x to the 3rd, right?
Yes.
So which one is the smallest power, Vanessa?
Which one is the smallest?
X to the 4th, x to the 3rd. Which power is smaller?
X to the 3rd.
X to the 3rd. So that means you got to put the power with the 12, and let's put the x to the third. Okay. So let's put that with our 12. So we found our number. Now we've got our variable. Okay, so this is 12x to the third. Make that bigger. All right, now that's one of the factors, right? Now we want to factor that. What's the other factor? Mercedes?
412.
12x to the third. What does it multiply by to give you back this 36x to the fourth minus 24x to the third? In other words, what goes in parentheses here?
Okay, you could put 3.
Okay, 3. 3 times 12 is 36, right? What about the x?
The x would be
Yeah.
4.
X to the third time what gives x to the fourth? See, this is x to the fourth. So what would have to
1.
be? So what would it be, Mercedes?
1.
1 what?
1
Tell me what to write after the 3.
x.
X. And what power? What's the power on the x?
Hmm,
You're trying to get x to the fourth, because that's what you have here, 36x to the fourth.
would
So
be
what
1.
would x be?
1.
1.
Oops.
Okay, so let's put the 1 here. Right? So 3 times 12 is 36. X to the third time x to the 1 is x to the 3 plus 1 is x to the 4. So we've got that first term correct, right?
Oh, that's what you're doing.
Okay. Now, you see how we're getting our other factor. All right, let's go to the next term, the 24x to the third. And that's a negative. So Maureen, what do you multiply 12x to the third times to get 24x to the third? Maureen?
Okay, just what you multiply 24 by? Get what?
No, listen to me. What do you multiply 12x to the third by to get 24x to the third?
2.
2, that's right. So this then completes the other term, right? And what answer is that, Maureen?
Oh, that is the first one I did right. D.
What is it?
D.
Say
What?
say it again.
D.
C is in Charlie?
D as in dog.
Oh, D is in dog. Okay. It sounded like you were saying C. W-R-D. Yeah, the D's, the C, D, C, E, some, and B.
Now that the honest one I do, they get right.
Okay. And it says factor completely, because that means you, the factor completely, you've got to take the greatest common factor. Okay. Some of these others come out the 36x to the fourth and the 24x to the third, but it says completely. That means you need the greatest common factor. That's your key. Any questions on factoring? No questions? Okay, let's go to number 4. Number 4 was factoring, and we're missing one of our factors, and I need you to find it. Okay. Let's go to here. All right, Vanessa, what is the one we're missing here? What goes in this parenthesis? That when multiplied by t plus 4, you get t squared plus 7t plus 12. Think FOIL. Vanessa, you're on mute.
I'm sorry, yes. So T,
So what goes here?
T, she is in
Okay,
Tom.
Okay, so we have T, I put it here. What else?
T plus
Plus. What? What's the number?
3.
3, that's right. Well, what number times 4 gives 12?
3 fours.
3, right?
Yeah.
So you know you want to get a 12 here, right? That constant, and you have a 4. So 12 divided by 4 is 3. So you know your answer has to be T plus 3. Right, let's put that. So that's, what choice is that, Vanessa? A, B, C, or D?
B as in boy.
Okay, B as in boy. Any questions?
Yes, Miss,
Yes, Mercedes.
there on that, I'm sorry, I didn't get.
Next one, I guess, too.
Very good, Maureen. Okay, Mercedes, what is your question?
I wasn't so clear on that. And I wish to get the answer.
Well, Mercedes, think FOIL. You have a constant here, 4, right? In order to get 12 that you have in this quadratic, and you notice a quadratic because it's raised to the second power of this variable, right? In other words, it's AB to the second, A to the second plus B plus C. Okay. AX. Let me put it here. Okay, it's the common format of a quadratic. Let me just put, this is A, and you could, well, let's see, put X, because it doesn't have to be an X, but I'm putting it in the general format. So that's AX to the second. Let me take this out and copy it here, and then put the general format. So when you see a quadratic, you know it has to be in this format. Okay, let's put that here. So this would be AX. A is a coefficient, so that would be AX plus B. B is a coefficient. BX. And C is a constant, plus C. That's the general format of a quadratic. You follow that? So what is A in this quadratic? Maureen, what is A?
Yeah,
What is A in T squared plus 7T plus 12? What is our coefficient?
or the coefficient.
Yes. A is the coefficient of the variable squared. B is the coefficient of the variable. And then C is the constant. So my question is, what is A in this quadratic? What's the value of A?
I don't know.
Audrey, what's the value of A here?
A is 2.
You see a 2 here? You see a 2
The
coefficient?
value of A is 1.
That's right. Thank you.
One,
Thank you,
one.
Audrey. A is 1 because there's no,
Yeah.
the default is 1. And what's the coefficient of the T, Audrey?
The coefficient is
Right here.
2.
What's the coefficient?
the-
That's your B.
The coefficient is the 7,
That's right. So B is 7. And what's the constant?
12.
12. So A is a 1 because that's the default. of your t to the second. 7 is your b, that's your coefficient in front of the variable. Here the variable is t, and c is the constant 12. Questions of the general format of a quadratic? So if you can put your equation in this format, you have a quadratic, but you must have that square on the variable raised to the second power. But what I was saying about this constant 12, and here you have a 4, you must multiply 4 by a number to get 12, and that number can only be a 3, and it can only be a plus 3 because that's a plus 12. So when you look
So-
at these choices, plus 3 only appears in B, right?
So that's the reason why the answer is t plus 3.
Yes, because 4 times some number in this parenthesis is equal to 12. That number can only be 3. And of course, t times t is t to the second power. Now you can put your t plus 3 in here and multiply it out, and you should get 7t, because you're going to have 4t plus 3t would be 7t. 4 times 3 is 12, and t times t is t squared. But you can check it. Use your FOIL once you put the t plus 3, and when you multiply it out, you should get back this quadratic. Questions? So you should be able to factor, well, some of the quadratic. Some you may have to use a quadratic formula, all right? But most of the ones we will use, you can use the factoring. Any questions on number 4? Maureen, you said you had that one correct, right?
Again,
Yes? Maureen, do you have number 4 correct?
yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go
I
to,
do, I sure I do 5, but I do 6, so I know it's right. Already correct way with it.
okay, let's go to number 5 was a bonus. And I said no fraction in the answer, right? Now, let me just move this over. Take that out. Okay. I'll just put bonus here. Okay, see when I go to the big print, I lose. Okay. All right. Let me just take this out, put the bonus at the bottom. Okay, no fraction in the answer, I said, right? Latoya, you want to tell me how to solve number 5? This was a bonus. Latoya.
Yeah,
Latoya?
Miss Barbara, yeah.
Yes,
I'm
tell me
here.
how to solve number 5.
Mikey,
I put all of them under 2.
Okay, you
6
put,
under 2, 18 under 2x,
okay,
2y
yeah.
under 2x.
Okay, that's right. When you have division, you can, and it's 3 terms here. That means each of these terms is divided by 2x. So like Latoya said, she wrote them as separate divisions, and that's fine. Is that what you did, Audrey? Did you do that?
No, I do mine out right away. I do mine straight out. I put
Okay,
the
you could,
2x.
yeah,
I-
okay.
Yeah, I do my right out.
Okay, yeah, you could do that too. I mean, you know, 2x and the 6x to the second,
Yes,
you could divide it out.
yes.
All right, but you
Yes.
can do it by putting the 2x under each one. So this would be 2x, right? And let's just take this on the line out. And that would be 18xy. That would be divided by 2x. We're putting the divisor for each one of the terms, right? So let's just take this on the line and put the 2x. Now we've got each term divided by the 2x. Mercedes, what do you get for the first one? What do you get when you divide? Let me just make that bigger. Okay, so let me bring that over. Okay, 2x. Audrey, can you see everything okay?
Yes.
Yeah, just want to make sure that's, I'm just making it bigger. Okay, now, Mercedes, the first term, 6x to the second over y divided by 2x. First divide the 6 by 2 and then divide the x square y by x. What do you get? What do you get for the first term, Mercedes? Mercedes, are you there? You're on mute.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was saying,
What do you get for the first term?
3xy.
Okay, so you got 3, 6 over 2 is 3. X to the second over x, just give you x, right? Because there's division, you subtract 1 from the 2, and then you've got the y.
Right.
Okay. Now let's go to the next one, Mercedes. You're doing good. What do you get for the next one?
I get 9x.
You get what?
Okay. 9xy.
But you have an x and an x in the numerator and the
Okay,
denominator.
9x to the second power.
No, you division.
Oh, 1.
X to the 1 minus the 1 is just a 0,
Okay.
which is a 1. So what would this be?
Y.
It would just be 18 over 2 is 9 and just y. Okay, now we go into the next one. What do you get, Mercedes?
1.
Okay, 2 over 2 is 1. Okay, so I'll put a 1 there. And what else?
X, Y.
No, that's y divided by x.
So it's
So that's y, and that's divided by x. Okay. So let's put our x here. Okay, now 1 over x is what? X to the minus 1. Okay, 1. Let me just see, 1 over x. Let's just put that there. Okay, that's over x, and that's equal to x to the minus 1, because a reciprocal, you change signs, right? So if it's 1 over x, that's a positive. So if I bring it up in the numerator, it becomes x to the minus 1.
okay.
All right. This is a little x here, not the big X.
Barbara, you always come up with some weird stuff.
It's not weird. It's not weird. You know the reciprocal, you change the sign. Like if this was a minus 1, it become a plus 1 if you put it in the numerator.
I
right?
forgot 2 into 2 is 1 time.
Okay, so what would this look like when we put it all
Oh,
together? When we put that X,
3xy
okay, so let's just put that.
Nine
That would be
Y.
3xy
plus 9y
plus 9y.
plus 1 y xy to negative 1.
Okay, so we have the y, and now we have x to the negative 1. You could put it y x to the or x to the minus 1y. It doesn't matter the same way. So the x to the minus 1 would go next to the y, and you don't have a fraction, right? X to the minus 1, and let's take we don't need the 1 here. And we don't need an underline. Or you could have put the y first, it doesn't matter. You could have said y x to the minus 1, and that would be your answer. Question?
I'm not clear why you get it X.
Because 1 over positive is equal to reciprocal negative.
Okay,
So 1 over x to the 1 is x to the minus 1,
oh,
right?
1 over X is equal to X to the minus 1.
Yes, x to the minus 1. Yeah.
So your final answer is
X to the minus is 3xy plus 9y plus x to the minus 1y. Or you could have said y times x to the minus 1, but I tend to like to put them in
X.
order by alphabet. So x and then y. But if you had said y times x to the minus 1, that is still correct.
Thank
Question?
you. No, miss.
And actually, Latoya, you got credit for this. You just didn't get credit as a bonus. You understand? I sent you your check yours.
Yeah, I see.
You saw it. You got the it was 10 questions, right? You got the 10 points. You just didn't get the extra 10 because you left it as a fraction. Got it?
I didn't leave it as
Audrey.
a function. I left it as y slash.
It's still a fraction. Fraction can be slash or dash. Okay. All right, Latoya, don't get a smarty on me now. Remember, we use dash and slash for division.
Oh,
And that can represent an exponent. That can
funny.
represent a fraction. 1 over 4 is the same as 1 with a dash here over 4, right? Isn't that the same, Latoya?
Yeah, Miss Barbara was like, look at Latoya trying to pull her first one.
Yeah, Latoya, after I said no fraction, she's still stuck in the fraction.
I thought because I put it as slash. I didn't put it the other way.
Good try,
I know you
Latoya.
put the same thing.
Good try, Latoya, but it didn't work.
Mm.
But I admire you for trying, though, anyway.
She's putting a smart one on you, Miss Barbara.
Huh?
She was pulling a smart one on you.
Yeah, she tried. She tried. Didn't work. Still was a fraction, right, Latoya? Wasn't it
Yeah.
still a fraction? It was still a
Last star
fraction.
straight across.
Oh, okay, it was still a fraction.
Excuse me.
Okay, there we go. Let me put this over here, and so you can see it. If you write 1/4 as a slash or 1 over 4 with a dash, is still a fraction, right?
Yeah.
It's still a fraction. Okay. Let's go.
Since I meet you, I start seeing it this way. We used to see it like 1 over 4. It since I come here, I see no slash.
Oh yeah, we use
I never
the
used to see
slash.
no slash.
It's used a lot,
That's why.
and it's used a
It's
lot
computer.
in text. right?
from the
It's
forward
just a
is-
lot easier. It's a lot easier to do because you got to do an underline. You know, if you're using Word, you've got to use an underline. So it's a lot, it becomes a lot easier to do it with a slash. And sometimes I would do it, but I noticed some people get confused when I use the slash, so I tried not to use it as much because I know some persons get confused, but they are on the same level, the dash, the underline that is, and the slash. Okay. Classify by number of terms. How many terms do you see here, Audrey?
3 turns.
Yes, each one of these is a term. Right, let me just bring that a little closer. Okay. Term 1, term 2, term 3. So what's the answer, Audrey?
Trinomial.
Trinomial.
What?
Tri means 3, right?
Yeah.
Tri is 3. Bi is what?
2.
2. Mono is,
one.
1.
that's it. Question.
No.
You had that one right,
Yeah.
Maureen?
Yeah.
What about you, Mercedes? Did you have
I
that one
did-
right?
but I have it right in my head because I know that one.
Okay, all right. Let's
Do you
go.
homework, Mercedes? Stop making excuses.
I'm making it.
Thank you, Latoya, for the prompt.
You gotta do your homework.
Speciality.
Laziness
Yeah,
leads-
that's called
laziness
It's not,
practice.
to
no,
failure.
listen to me. Listen to me, young lady. Don't put lazy in it. Don't put that word in it.
They say laziness leads to failure. It's a proverb.
Aren't you listening to me, young lady? Don't put the word lazy in it.
Yeah,
You don't do
Mercedes
your
works.
homework, you're lazy.
No.
Okay.
Mercedes has a demanding job with 16-hour shifts, so I can understand sometimes.
No excuse.
Not an excuse, it may be a reason that
always
she
love-
doesn't.
Sissy always love hours.
I don't think you're anxious like me. I'm very
But-
anxious to do
But,
this.
but sometimes you just gotta put forth an extra effort.
Yeah, because you want a diploma. When you
Yes.
want things, you have to bend the rules.
Yes,
Hello.
you're right. You're so
You
All
want
right,
your
then let's
diploma,
start
you
bending.
gotta get it. It's soon 2023, you're gonna be stuck in the same
Donald
cycle.
Trump.
Come on.
If I don't get what I want this year, I'm gonna give up
How bad do you want it?
badly. If I don't get it this year, I'm giving up. Trust me.
Don't
You
give
see?
up.
Try
Don't
to
give up.
get this
Don't
here
give up.
person. You stop with that
This
there.
Thing
but
I'm aiming this year, and I really want it badly.
You will get it. Take your time. You will get it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, Maureen, number 7, use foil.
This is a good one. Do the foil.
Well, you know what? Actually,
The foil is
you can eliminate 2 answers by multiplying the 3 times the minus 7,
D and D.
Yeah.
right? Right, Mercedes?
Yes. The first one is just get the answer.
What's a plus 3 times a minus 7, Mercedes?
What's that? Miss Wade,
Plus
I missed
3, a plus 3 times a minus 7
Oh,
is
I
equal to what?
just my mind of the answer. I had
That is
my answer.
minus
I was
1.
right.
Maureen, please, I'm asking a question. Mercedes, what's plus 3 times the minus 7? Mercedes?
I'm here, Miss. Can you hear me?
Yes, what's a plus 3 times the minus 7?
That would be 5.
Multiplication. What is
Yeah,
that equal to, Mercedes?
I'm saying I'm just multiply it out of my head. Saying
So,
5 times 3 is 15, and you minus seven.
wait, Mercedes, this is a multiplication.
Yes,
So what's a 3 times the minus 7?
3 times the minus 7 is
It's what? You're breaking up.
15. You hear me?
3 times 7 is 15?
No.
Mercedes,
No, I'm
what's
sorry.
a 3 times, a plus
sorry.
3 times a minus 7?
That is 35. I'm multiplying.
Mercedes, 7 times 3?
That's 3 sevens.
Oh,
7 plus 7 plus 7,
oh, 21
plus or minus.
minus,
Minus. Unlike signs give you negative, right? So if it's
Yeah.
a minus 21, you can eliminate B and D because they are plus 21, correct?
yes,
All right. And of course, you know it's 10x to the second because 5x times 2x is 10x to the second. Okay.
so right away, you know, the answer is B.
The answer is B. How did you get B, Mercedes?
Oh, okay, I take it back.
No, I didn't say it was wrong. I just want to know, how did you get B?
Because it's 5 times 2x, and that is 10x to the second power. No, I'm sorry. Yes.
What
Well,
is your BX?
no, C and
What's
wait,
the coefficient of your X? Well, 5x times 2x, you get 10x to the second. Plus
Yes.
3 times minus 7, you get 21, right?
yes,
Okay, so 7 minus 7 times 5x is what? That's the last.
that's
Let's-
41x.
No, minus 7. Okay, let me write what I just asked you. I said a minus 7 times a 5x. This is 5x. What is that equal to, Mercedes?
Minus times a 5x. So yeah,
Minus 7 times a 5x. What is that equal to?
that leads me to 35.
You're throwing your x away?
Okay.
You're breaking up. What is it?
X,
Tell me the whole thing.
35x,
Minus 35x.
35 is what I meant.
Yeah, because plus times minus is minus. Okay, so you said 7 times minus 7 times 5x, you got 35x. Now you've got 3 times 2x, right? So let's just write that. Okay. 3 times 2x.
Which is
So that would be 3. Let's just put 3 here. Times 2x, and that's a positive. So let's just put that there, 2x. What is that equal to, Mercedes?
to 6x.
6x. So let's put 6. Okay, now if you combine a 6x and a minus 35x, what do you get? Minus
Fine.
35x. Let's put it here. Okay, plus 6x. What is that equal to, Mercedes?
You're gonna get a minus 29.
Yes, minus 29x, right? And when you put it all together, what do you get? What answer?
A.
A, not B. You said B, right?
Yeah, because I made an error.
Okay, answer A. So you see how you can save yourself time by eliminating answers? So instead of looking at 4, you only look at it 2. Because you said a minus 21, the ones without a minus 21 could not be the answer, right? And that was 2 of them with a plus 21. So now instead of looking at B and D, you're looking at A and C. Got it?
Yeah.
Questions? There again, I said FOIL, but if you can do it without FOIL, notice I did this without FOIL, because I said a minus 7 times a plus 3 is a minus 21, then a 5x, and we had
I was actually
2x.
with foil with the with brainstorming.
Yeah, you can use foil or you can just multiply the 5x times 2x, that gives you the 10x squared. 3 times a minus 7 gave you the constant minus 21. Now you've got 3 times 2x, and you got minus 7 times 5x. Combine those x terms, and you get a minus 29x. Maureen, number 8, what's the answer?
Number 8, hold on. Where's number 8? Oh,
Polynomial of degree 2. What do we call that?
I don't know. I got a quadratic.
Yeah, it's a quadratic.
Wow.
But linear is 1, cubic is 3, and quantic is 4. So answer B. Will your quadratics have a square? Okay, let's go to our word problem. And I'm gonna put this on the next page and make it bigger. Audrey, you didn't do your word problems. At least you didn't send them to me,
Mm-mm.
right? So what happened?
I did rush into my appointment. I didn't really get to do finish. I do all that this morning, you know.
Oh,
Yeah, I
okay.
didn't get to do it.
All right, okay. All right,
I didn't get to
so,
do it. So,
okay, Maureen, read number 1. Word problem.
Okay, suppose you have 250 cubic inches of clay, with which to make a sculpture shaped as a rectangular prism. You want the height and the width each to be 5 inches less than, okay, the width and the length to be 5 inches less than the length. Show the setup for calculating the dimension, volume of rectangular, and that minus left or length multiplied by width, multiplied by height. The present cubic units.
That's right. When you volume is always cubic units because you got
cute is three.
length time
Okay.
width time height. 3 things. They're gonna be to the 1 to the 1 to the 1. That adds up to 3, right? So I gave you the volume. V equals length times width times height. So let's just write that here. Going to the next. Let me just go to the next. Okay, so V equal L times W
Times H.
times H. That's right. That's the formula. Length equal width times the height, and that gives you cubit dimensions, right? Okay. Now, what did they give you as the volume, Mercedes? What was the volume?
All right. Is that 250?
That's right. Very good. That's 250 because that's cubic inches, right? So you know the volume. Okay, so let's put out 250. We know that. Because we asked for the setup for calculating the dimensions, right? What do we know about the length and the width?
You know that we have 2 long side, short side,
What do you have?
2 long side and 2 short side. If you're talking about rectangle.
This is a
Yeah,
rectangular prism.
prism.
We have 3 dimensions in a prism.
Oh, pardon.
We have 3 dimensions in a prism.
Okay, miss, does that mean one side is long and the other 2 sides is short, right? That's better remember.
Height and width, 5 inches less than the length.
One side has the same length. 2 sides has the same length.
And one has a longer.
One is, it says the height and the width
One-
each to be 5 inches less than the length. So height 5 inches less than the length with 5 inches less than the length.
Yes.
How would we show
Mhm.
that?
250 minus the L, 5 minus L, 5 minus 250 minus 5.
Okay, so we have the length. What would the width look like, Audrey? 5 inches less.
Minus or negative 5.
Time, what's width?
Length minus, huh?
What is the width?
The length times the width
No,
is
if it's
5,
5 inches less
5.
than the length, what would that look like?
Negative 5.
No, less than means subtracting.
Yeah.
So how would I write width?
Minus,
What would I write for the width? How would I write 5 inches less than the length? Vanessa,
L
how
minus
would I
W.
write that?
L minus W.
What?
L minus W.
No. How would I write the width, Vanessa? To show 5 inches less than the length.
L minus 5 minus W.
Vanessa,
That's
where's
right.
Vanessa? She disappears.
5 inches less than the width.
How would I write the width? How would I write 5 inches less than the length for the width?
Less than.
L minus 5.
Less than.
Width is 5 inches less than the length. So that means,
So therefore you put the sign less than.
no, length, it would be what? Minus 5,
5. Oh,
right? Right?
But you said just no minus 5, but she didn't say that. That was right.
No, it says 5 inches less. That means you subtract 5
Right,
from
they
the
said,
length.
he said minus 5 or negative 5. That's what he said. But anyhow, it's okay.
But it's length minus 5, Audrey. What about the height, Audrey? What's that equal to?
Minus. That's minus 5.
Yeah, because the height is also 5 inches less, right? So that's going to be length minus 5. All right. So you have this appearing twice, right? So how can I write this? How can I combine those two? Audrey, how can I combine them?
Minus 5.
Since it appears
So we
twice,
don't
I
have
can
it,
just put a 2 in front of it, right? Let's put a 2 because it's 2 length minus 5 and just take it out here. So here we go. Because the length minus 5 appears twice. So it's 2 lengths minus 5. Because so it's the width and the height, or 5 inches less than the length. All right. So now you could have just put this for your setup, right? Now that L minus 5 is really L minus 5 what? Square. Right? L minus 5 times L minus 5.
Square.
This would be not, I said 2, it's not 2, it's L minus 5 times L minus 5, which is, let me just take this out. And that's L minus 5 raised to the second power because it's a product. Okay, so let's put the 2 here. 2. L minus 5 times L minus 5 is L minus 5 raised to the second power. Okay. Now, that would have taken care of your setup. So that's what would go here. And you could put that in the box, right? 250 L times L minus 5 a second. You could have used X. You didn't have to use length. I just used length. Now, How would you find the dimensions? How would you find L? Audrey, how would you find L? In other words,
I'm
how
not
would you
sure.
calculate L?
By multiplying,
Multiplying what?
the L by the LX.
A what?
I'm not sure.
L minus 5 times L minus 5.
L
Multi-
minus 5.
You can
Minus
use your
5.
FOIL or you could just multiply that. What does that give you?
L minus 5. Mhm.
How would I calculate L?
Mhm.
Multiply L minus 5 times L minus 5. What do you get? No, this is L minus 5 squared. That's saying L minus 5 times L minus 5. What does that give you? Use your FOIL. What do you get when you multiply L minus 5 times
25.
L minus 5?
Positive 25.
What do you
L
get,
25.
Audrey?
Positive L 25.
No, when you multiply that out, you're gonna get a quadratic, aren't you? Aren't you gonna get a quadratic? L times
L
L is L to the second,
is L to the second. Mhm.
all right?
And 5, negative 5 times negative 5. Positive 25.
No, I want you to multiply L minus 5 times itself. Tell me what you get. Everybody, multiply
Is
L.
L,
In other words, what
L-
I'm asking you to do
L
is
to the
take the L
second power
minus 5.
minus
Okay.
25.
Let me put that here. Okay,
Okay.
what I'm asking you to do. Multiply L minus 5. Okay, by itself, because that's what square means.
Right, so L times
Okay.
L is L to the second, and L times 5 is negative 25. To the second.
Let's go back. It's and let's see. And L minus 5. I want everybody to multiply that out. Tell me what you get. What is that equal to? It's a quadratic, right? So what is it equal
So
to?
that is L to the second, so that is.
Everybody multiplying it out? Mercedes, are you multiplying it out?
I'm trying.
That is 25.
Trying, miss.
So L times L is what?
It's L to the
Second
second
power.
power.
L to the second. So let's just put L to the second. Okay.
That's right.
And we know what our constant, what is our constant, Mercedes?
5.
I'll just put this here. You tell me what else I should do. Minus 5 times minus 5. What is that,
Negative
Mercedes? What's a
25.
negative 5 times a negative 5?
10.
25.
Multiplication, not adding, Mercedes.
oh,
Multiplication.
Negative 25.
Like signs give you plus.
Oh, sorry.
So what would it be?
Plus 25.
Plus 25.
Negative.
Now, what goes in between here? You have
Miss
a
Barbara,
minus.
excuse me.
Yes.
I am stepping away from, I would still be in. But
Okay.
I'm at work, so I would not be able to respond.
Okay. All right, Vanessa.
I would still be on.
Okay,
Okay, good night.
Good night,
Okay.
Maureen.
Okay.
okay. Now, what's the coefficient of the L?
Oh,
Okay.
5,
Official.
You have a minus
Coefficient of the L.
5L and a minus 5L. What does that give you?
0.
No, no. Minus plus would give you 0.
Minus.
Minus
Zero.
5 times L plus a minus 5 times L. What does that give you, Audrey?
NL.
Not 0, she says.
What do you get, Maureen?
NL
Plus or minus?
plus.
No, minus,
Oh, the
minus, give it
minus.
minus,
Uh,
minus 10L. All right? Minus 10L, okay? Now, what is my next step?
okay.
Remember, we're trying to solve for L.
Yes, I got
Subtract what?
NL from 10L and plus 25.
Where are you getting 10L from? Remember, we're taking this equation
Uh,
and then we expanded this into a quadratic. So let's just put this here. We put this here. And we said this L will be L. We just put that in parentheses and we expanded that to the quadratic. So, and that would be, let's just put what we got when we multiplied it out. So that's L. Okay, that's what we got as our quadratic equation. What will be our next step? What would be the next step?
okay.
Combine like terms.
What do you do, Latoya?
Combine like terms.
Which terms are alike? This is a multiplication. Latoya, how did you do it? You gave the answer. How did you do it?
I didn't do it the way you did it. I did it another way. That's why I'm lost. I don't know how to tell you if you do this one. I do it my old way.
Okay,
Your way, I can't do it your way.
all right. Tell me how you did it, Latoya.
Let me tell you how me do it. Oops. Zoom is always cutting off. So I said, mine was 2x. I use x.
Okay, so you
Square
use
minus
X.
10x plus, let me start off from the beginning. Length times W times width, 250.
Okay, and so
250 equal x in the parentheses, x minus 5, x minus 5.
okay,
Then I said 250,
let me just take this.
because I use x. I don't like,
You don't
I'm
like
used to
using
on the
the
x.
L. Okay, all right. So
No.
the X is fine. Okay, so you put the X for the L instead of the L. Okay,
Yeah.
let's put the X.
Because X is more easier to do with a lot of stuff.
Well, you're absolutely right. Okay, so Latoya used the X for the L, and okay, I always like to see more than one way of doing something, and sometimes or another way is actually easier. So that's X instead of L, and that's X. This is times. So I'm using the asterisk for the multiplication. Okay. Now, Latoya, this is what you have. Now tell me, what did you do from here?
So it's a 250 equal x squared minus 10 x plus 25.
Okay, let me
That's
put
what
this
I
here.
did.
Okay, so you said 250 equal, what did you get here?
Equal x squared plus 10x plus 25. Which part you have L, I put X.
Okay, so you did you put a square on your x minus 5 here? Or you left it as x minus 5 times x minus 5? Latoya? At this point, what did you get, Latoya?
Okay, Miss Barbara. Hello?
Yes,
Oh, I was in the elevator, that's why.
okay.
Yeah, so, let me see. So I said, 250 equal x slash, not slash, the parentheses x squared plus 10x plus 25. Then I said x to the third power minus 10x squared plus 25 minus 250. And then I said x squared, and then parentheses x minus.
Okay, right at this point, what did you get? Did you put the square on your x minus 5 and then multiplied it, got the x to the third?
Is width 5 inches and height 5 inches.
Yeah,
That's where me do it.
okay, but what did you get right here?
Okay, man.
Did you square the x minus 5?
No, I didn't square it up. I do it
Okay.
out. That's
Okay,
why I'm telling
you said x times x times x, and you got x to the third.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so let's,
multiply it out.
okay, so that would give you x to the third. And then what was your next thing? X to the
X to the
third.
third.
Okay,
It is always not the same though. And I'll do it a weird way. I'm coming. It's hot. It's hot. There you go. So where am I now? I'm at the third x squared minus
x to the third. What goes after the x to the third?
plus 10, I think. Oops. Minus 10x
Okay,
plus 25 equal 250.
minus 10x, which is, I had the 10L. Okay,
Plus
and
25x. Oops.
okay. Plus 25x.
Minus 250. Oh, you put the 50 over the other side.
Well, the 250 is here for the volume.
Oh, yeah, you put it over the other
250 is
side.
x to the third minus 10x plus 25x. Now, what
Yeah.
did you get from this?
Then I said x plus 20, x squared plus 25 and x minus 10. X
Okay,
squared.
so you factor this.
Yeah, I factor it out.
Okay, So let's just put the 250 here. And when you factor it out, you said X
So the
square,
second power, yeah. Plus 25 and X minus 10.
okay, so you had, this was X.
This is so
square-
long.
X square.
Yeah,
Okay, what followed the X square?
plus 25 and X minus 10.
So you factored out the X.
Yeah,
Okay, so let's put an X in front of this because you're factoring. So this is X.
this one was very hard for me. I spent a long time on this
Yeah.
one.
Okay, so you had X square, and this is just a 10, right? Because you factored out
Yeah.
the X. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, 10. Sorry.
Okay, and plus
And
25.
plus 25, sorry.
Okay,
I
'cause there
forgot.
was a
Yeah,
X
that's
there.
25. So
There
it's
we go.
25.
There we go. All right.
I'm saying the wrong thing.
Okay, now what's your
I'm
next step?
tired now. Um,
Minus 10 and a 25, you got what, 15?
15, yeah.
Yep, okay, so let's just put this here. And combine the two constants. And that will give you minus 10 plus 25 would give you a plus 15. So let's just put this here, that's a plus 15. And what's your next step, Latoya?
X squared plus X plus X. We're gonna try to get rid of the X's.
Okay, so now what was your next step?
Get rid of the X.
So how did you get, well, you want to solve for X?
Now divide.
You divided what?
X.
250 over X?
Yeah.
Okay. Divide both sides by X, 250
Mhm.
divided by X. And then you have just that expression on the right, X squared plus 15. Right?
Yeah.
And that would be equal to X squared plus 15. Just copy that there, X squared plus 15. So you have X squared plus 15 equal 250 over X, correct?
Yeah.
What was your next step?
I divide them. I try to cancel the X. Where you get 2 from, Miss Barbara? 15 2.
No, that I'm gonna take that out.
Oh.
Shouldn't be a 2 there. Layout, let's see. Just 15. Okay, so let me just bring this up. Okay. 250 over X equal X squared plus 15. What was your next step?
You cancel the X.
No underline here. Okay. You canceled your X?
Yeah, that's what I did.
And what did you get?
250 equal x plus 15 because I was trying to get rid of the exponent.
Okay, so you
That's why.
really factored out your x.
Yeah, I was
And
trying to
what
get
was
rid of that.
what did you get left?
And then it said 250 equal x plus 15.
Equal x plus 15.
Yeah.
And then subtract the 15.
Oops.
You got what?
Subtract 15.
Was it subtract the 15? You got x is 235.
Yeah, and then you divide it. You oops.
X is the length. Can't be that big a number.
You're
Was-
minus 15 on both sides. I think.
Yeah, but your x is going to be too big because
Okay,
remember your
well, yeah.
dimensions came out to be 10, 5, and 5.
So you're minus x on both sides.
No, Latoya, your number is too big. X has to be a number that you subtract the 5 from it and you get the width and the height. So this X is too big. Right? X has to be
It's
a
gonna
small
be
number.
x is gonna be 10.
Yeah, but you can't get 10 from what you have here unless you told me something wrong. Latoya,
Because you're gonna x is minus.
if X was 10, that would be 100 plus 15.
No,
And then
remember we
times
factor
10.
the x. Remember we factor the x, so it's 1 left plus 15. The x is 1.
So what should
Remember we
this be?
factor the x over there, so factor it
Yeah, we factor
from
the
there.
X.
So
And we got X. Okay, if we took out the X, this shouldn't be a X squared, that should just be X. Right?
yeah, I think we
Yeah,
make a
that would
mistake
just be
somewhere.
X.
That's why.
Yeah, that would just be X.
Yeah,
Okay.
we made a mistake.
Yeah, so this would be a X times X plus 15. And X, okay, let's just take this up. So, okay, so we have an X. So what did you do from here? You still have X times X plus 15.
That's x squared.
Okay, so X squared, and that's gonna be, now you've got a quadratic, right? X squared plus 15x.
Yeah, that's quadratic crap I don't
That's
like.
it. Yeah, then you have a quadratic
Oh.
because you have 250 equal X squared. Let's put the square on there. Okay, that's x squared plus 15x. All right, and then you'll have two solutions, one positive, one negative. So you throw away the negative.
Plus 15.
All right, now you have a quadratic. X squared plus 15x minus 250 equals 0.
Yeah.
And then you solve the quadratic. Let's see. And you're going to have a 25 and a 10. Okay, so this would be, let me just put this here. X squared plus 15x minus 250 is equal to 0. All right, take the 250 out over here. Now the quadratic. What two numbers multiply to give you 250 and add to give you 15? 25 and 10.
5 and 5.
No, 25.
I'm sorry.
25 and 10.
25 and 10. I'm saying 25
That's
and
it.
5.
Yeah, x. Okay, so it's a minus. So we need a plus 25 and x minus 10 equal 0. So we set each one of these equal to 0. So x
Yeah.
minus 10 is x equal plus 10, because this would give you a negative 25. So then x, if the quadratic is equal to 0, each factor is equal to 0. Equal to 0. So that means x equal plus 10. So your length is 10, your width is going to be 10 minus 5, or 5, and your height is going to be 10 minus 5, and that's 5.
Make that a little bigger, Miss Black.
Okay, I'll make it bigger. Here we go. So you end up with a quadratic.
Yeah, that's what I end up with.
Thank you, Latoya, for saying with the x, because it looks more like a
I
quadratic
do it.
than the
It
L.
take me like a long time. I do it
Okay.
so many different ways.
Okay,
It was
so
chaotic.
so x then is the length. So let's just put x equal 10. That's the length, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 10 minus x. I mean 10 minus
5.
5, because it's 5 less, equal 5. That's the
That's the
width.
width.
And the same thing for the height.
Yeah.
10 minus
Minus 5.
5 equal 5.
5
and
for the
that's the
height.
height. So your dimensions are 10 by 5 by 10.
Right. Yeah.
All right. So I think Latoya using the X is better than using the L, because then you have really looking like a quadratic.
I see
All
that
right?
last part, Miss Black.
Okay, let's go back.
Barbara.
Okay, all right. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's take out the L. We're not going to use the L. We're gonna
Yeah,
use-
the L was confusing.
yeah, let's stay with the X like Latoya used to.
I want to see last part that she just did.
Okay,
You're gonna put it together, Audrey,
okay.
because it's
Mhm.
long. It's long.
No, the last one with the 0 minus the 5 or the x minus
No,
the
I'm
10.
telling
whatever
you,
that
she
last
putting
part
it
was.
together. She was putting it over. Yeah.
Okay, so you got x times x is x squared. X times 15 is 15x. Now, Audrey, you see the quadratic, right? X squared plus 15x minus 250. So two numbers multiply to give you 250 or 25 and minus 10. It's a minus, right? Subtract the minus 10 from the plus 25 and you get this 15. So those are your two solutions, but you have to set each one of these to 0. So the 25 would give you a negative 25. We can't have a negative 25 less. So the length is 10. The width is 5 less than 10, 5 subtracted from 10, and 5 subtracted from 10 for the height. So the dimensions would be 10 by 5 by 5. That would be your answer. Length by width by height would be 10 by 5 by 5. Now that's why it was a bonus on that one, because it was a little cumbersome. Questions on that problem?
Well, that will give you for an open next year to get done.
Okay,
That's a
so
long time. It deserved the bonus.
yes, you're right. So what should be the dimension of the prism? Length by width by height, 10 by 5 by 5. That's the answer. Right here.
That was tough.
10 by 5 by 5. Okay, the area of a rectangular pool table. Audrey, did you try that one? Now this one, you should have been able to do this one.
Yeah, that one was easy. After this hard ass one, oh,
Okay, they gave you the area and they gave you the length, and area is length times width. So what is width equal to, Maureen? If area is length times width, what is width? Maureen? If area is, let me just put it here, A equal L times W. Okay, so what is W? How do you solve this for W? Maureen?
I don't know.
Divide both sides by L, right? So W would be equal to A divided by W. I'm sorry, divided by L.
yeah, with
And
equal
we-
area divided by length.
Yeah, and now put in what I gave you for the area and what I gave you for the length. So let's put length. And I want you to solve this one. Okay. So you got length here, right? Okay, so put in the area. The area is 4x squared plus 24x plus, there's the area, right? So let's just take that and put that, and I want you to solve this. I think you can solve this. Take this and put that in for the area. So this would then be equal. Let's put the area. And divide that by the length. What was the length? 4x.
Yeah, I did
And-
it on both
And
sides.
that's just factoring, right? Audrey, can you
Yeah.
solve this now?
Huh?
Put the 4x under here. Factor, what would you factor out in that first equation? The
The
4x,
4x.
that's right. So factor the 4x out and tell me what you get.
X to the third
X to the third, and what about the 24? X squared over 4x.
plus 6x
6x, that's right. And the 40x over the 4x gives you what?
is 10x.
And
10.
so you know the answer then. Very good.
Yes, I already had it right. I had to put
Good
the 10.
show. You
It's
have
not
that
two,
one
yeah.
right. So what was the answer then, Audrey?
C.
C, that's right. Any questions on how Audrey got C?
No,
She just divided the 4x to the fourth by 4x. That gave you what? just x to the third, because 4 over 4 is 1. 4 into 24 is 6. X to the second over x is just x. And then 40x divided by 4x, 40 divided by 4 is 10, and x over x is 1. So that's how you get the tan. Any questions? That's area over length equals width. Any questions? Maureen, did you get that one?
Yeah.
Mercedes? Mercedes, you're on mute. Did you get that one?
No, miss, I did not.
What happened? You know area length formula, right?
Yeah,
Well, I gave it to you. Area is length times width. So width is area divided by length. Divide both sides by length, and you get area over length is equal to width. The area was given as a quadratic. The length was given as a monomial, and you can just factor out the 4x. 4x divided into each one of these terms, and you'll get C. You understand how we got C, Mercedes?
yes, miss.
Okay. All right, so
I was wondering, one that Latoya did, if it couldn't be shorter than that.
oh, the one with the quadratic.
Oh yeah, why is so long?
Okay.
It's so
Well,
big.
let me.
I
Well, you
noticed-
gotta get a.
It's
You
the
gotta get a.
prism.
You gotta get a quadratic. There's no getting around that. You must get a quadratic.
Yeah.
Latoya, I almost called for that one and I changed my mind.
What?
I'm telling her to look at that one and I almost called her to ask her she did it.
Oh,
Mine.
okay. Yeah, you have to
Yeah,
get.
that quadratic is not funny.
Yeah,
It's hard.
Yeah, you have to get a quadratic. And
It's
quadratics
not
have
easy at all.
they have two solutions, but one solution is negative. So negative length makes no sense, right? So you take the positive one, which is the 10. Now, you've got to get the quadratic, but let me just check. I'll check to see if it may be an easier way to do this one.
That's so hard.
Yeah, I'll see if there's a shorter cut. I don't really think so though, because you've got the x minus 5 twice, so that's squared. Okay. Anyway, it doesn't hurt to look. I'll make a note.
I
to see
tried
if-
to do another way, Miss Barbara, and it
just
ended
gotta
up
put
back
a
near the
square
quadratic.
root, a square
Yeah,
root
you're
sign
gonna
and
have to get the quadratic. I don't think you can get around the quadratic.
Yeah, I was trying to do it another way, and it
Well,
turned out to be a long
but
mess.
the other way, there is another way. It's called,
another way, so I learned that, Campbell.
no, no,
I learned it.
it's another way of getting it, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
I tell you that,
I tried the other way first, but then I was confused.
No.
I didn't know what the hell I was doing after.
no, let me just tell you another
So I'll
way.
leave it alone.
No, there's a quicker way to do it. And I'll tell you what that is. All right,
Okay.
all right. 250. Let me just go here. All right. Here's an easier way to do it.
We need
2
an exam, you know, no time to do
50.
long.
Equal, and this was a, okay, here's a way to do it. 250 is length, let me just show you another way to do it. Length times width times height, right? Okay, now, we said one was 5 less than the other, right? Now, think of two numbers you can multiply and get 250. What are two numbers?
50,
What?
50, and 5,
I'm 25.
What did you say,
50 and 5.
Maureen? Well, 50 and 5, that would work. But the best number is 25 and 10, right?
Mhm.
But we have three things here. So that means this is a way of doing it. Okay, let's put that here. And that means I have a length that's 5 more than the width and the height. So I can put my 10 here, right? Put the 10. And 25 is really 5 times 5. There's your answer.
What?
Got it?
Not really.
Miss Barbara, break it, break, let me
Yes.
see.
Okay. It's like a guess and check,
One,
but
two,
this
three.
works.
First,
1, 2, 3.
The area, the volume
Okay.
is length times width times height, right?
I think
3
it's-
dimensions. But 25 times 10 is 250. So to get 3 dimensions, I take the 25 and make it 5 times 5. 5 and 5
get-
are my width and height. 10 is my length.
Mhm.
And you still get back.
I got the same answer
Yep.
Mhm.
because I know I must multiply 3 numbers and get my 250.
Mhm.
So the best thing is when you pick the numbers, pick one that has a perfect square root. That means you can square 2 numbers and get it. You got it?
The best bet.
Maureen, what did you say?
Yeah. I said, think this is the best bet to do it. I said, go down that long way.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
You understand this, right?
yeah.
250 is the volume. You have a length, a width, and a height,
Uh-huh.
right?
And
I can factor 250 to 25 by 10, but 25 is a perfect square root. That means the same number multiplied gives you 25. And that's what the width and the height would be, the 5 and the 5.
yeah, for 5, 5
And
times
the
5.
length is 5 more than that. So that's a 10.
Uh-huh.
You got it?
Yep.
Lot shorter, reason it out.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I was thinking of is Miss more than this everlastingly long meter. When would you finish an exam?
Yeah, but that's why it's good to look at these things and think of another way of doing things, right? So, like I said, the other way of doing it, we know the 250 that was given. That's the volume. We know 3 dimensions multiplied to give the volume. So factor the 250 into 25 and 10. 25 represents 2 dimensions, 5 times 5.
Yes.
Got it?
Mhm.
Okay, so that would be a
Okay.
quicker way of doing it and not having the quadratic,
If you was at 5.
because they told you that both the width and the height are 5 less. So that means they're the same value. So when you make it, when you're getting your factors, think of a number that has a perfect square. And that's the 25, 5 times 5. And there's your answer. There are your dimensions, length, width, height.
Those
Got it?
3 miss go anywhere around. Okay, if you say 5 times 10,
What did you say, Mercedes?
I'm saying that those 3 dimensions can go in any motion. You can say 5 times 10, you get 50, and 50 by 5, you get your 250 again. So it's perfect.
Yeah, you're right. 5 times 10 is 50, 5 is 20, 250. You're right, Mercedes, absolutely. So they gave you nice little numbers to work with, and by them telling you the length, the width, and the height are 5 less than the length, that means you've got 2 dimensions that are the same value. So what two dimensions can be the same value multiplied by something that's 5 more than it to give you 250? Only 10, 5, and 5. Got it?
Perfect.
So that's, I'll give you another one like this and see if you can reason it like
No,
that.
no, miss, please.
No, not now. I'm not giving you now.
No.
No, I'm not
Mm-mm.
talking about now. I mean later.
If I
I
give
want to
you
give
every
you,
brain function of it,
no,
put it
no,
down, no, you will forget everything.
no, later problem with reasoning by factoring. So I'll give you another problem like this and give you the choice. You want to do quadratic or you want to reason it by factoring? Okay. Any questions?
No, thank you, miss.
Miss
Okay.
Barbara, you must get them a book from some old college book.
Why?
Barbara? Barbara?
No, these are modern maths.
Yeah,
Hell no.
no, this
All
is
the years me do math, me not see them as
Yes,
yeah.
they are. They are
these
in
are this is
now.
more, yeah, this is not old. I go to the internet and I get current
These
stuff.
are modern maths. They are online like nothing.
Yep. Now let's see. I wanted
That
to,
number
well, I
will
don't
show
think we're gonna
difference.
have time to go through it. Let's see. Let me just see here.
Miss Barbara, next week we on.
No,
Next week are June 19.
yeah, we're here though, because we missed too many Mondays. Because remember, you
Oh.
had Memorial, and now you're gonna have 4th of July. We can't afford to miss another Monday. At least
Okay.
that's my reasoning.
Okay.
Do you see divide polynomials?
No.
No, miss.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah, wait,
Do you see it now?
Yes, ma'am.
Divide polynomials. I just want to look at one or two here. Now, when you divide a polynomial by monomial, look in terms of factoring, like 2x plus 4 over 2. What do you see in common, Mercedes, of your numerator and your denominator?
Common. I see.
Yeah, what factor do you see in common with the numerator and the 2, right? So here we go. Just take the 2, factor the 2x plus 4, and you got a 2. All right, 2 times x plus 2 gives you 2x plus 4, and then the 2 over 2 is 1, and there's your answer, x plus 2. Got it? That's
Okay.
a polynomial dividing by a monomial.
Oh, that
Look at factoring.
You
You have
cancel the 2. You cancel the 2
well,
on the
2
left.
over 2 is, well, 2 times x plus 2, Mercedes, give you 2x plus 4. There's your numerator. And there's
Oh.
your denominator, 2. 2 over 2 is 1. 1 times x plus 2 is x plus 2. That's your answer.
That was fast and quick.
Got it? Okay. So you see, factoring is a nice, neat way of doing things. Now, here's one where you have polynomial, monomial. You can always break it up, like Latoya suggested before, and divide each term by the denominator. So 7x goes into 21x to the third. 7x also goes into minus 35x to the second. So you factor it out to 7x, and there's your answer. 3x to the second minus 5x. Because there you got 3x to the second minus 5x. 7x over 7x give 1. You got it?
So the
Question?
I know that
Two.
I know the answer when you say 7x divide 21x, I know you get
3.
3.
Yeah, and then
Seven
x to the third over x, subtract
Your
the 1
five.
from the 3 and you get x to the second, right?
Yes,
And then 7 times minus 5 is a minus 35. And
yes,
x
yes.
times x is x to the second power. Okay, so your
Oh,
answer
7x
would
into
be, what's
35.
left? 3x to the second and minus 5x. Got it?
Look what Miss Barbara is
So you're-
3x7.
so
Where are
what
you?
happened? You lose the x2, the 2x to the x to the 2 power.
X to the third over x gives you
Second,
x to
second
the
power
second. But right here, you still have the 3x to the second. See, there's the answer.
Miss
Okay,
Barbara,
Three
open
X.
here, give it
It's
away
5.
soon.
I'm asking.
What's the
And there-
question, Mercedes?
I'm saying because there's a x to the second power at 35
She's
and
saying
there's
2x. She's
five.
saying 2x plus 2x.
There's a minus 35x to the second. The factors are 7x and minus 5x.
yes.
7 times minus 5 is a minus 35. X
Yes.
times x is x to the second.
X
Right,
is the
Mercedes?
Oh, x times x.
X times x is x to the 1, x to the 1, add the powers, 1 plus 1, and you get the 2.
Okay, let's say lose.
So
So
that is
5
7x.
You have a
Tangalo.
question?
No, I was just reasoning why you did that. Put the-
Yes.
I was trying to understand why there were no x second power at 5.
Oh,
Right.
because x times x gives x the second. If you put x second, it will be a third. This is not 35x to the third, it's 35x to the second. So this has to be x to the 1, x to the 1, add the 1 plus 1, you get x to the second.
Okay.
You got it? Now, this is when you write them as being divided by each of the denominators, right? But you can also factor it without doing that. You could just pull the 7x out, 7x, and 7x times what gives you 21x to the third? 7x times what gives you the minus 35? And then you get the same answer. 3x to the second minus 5x. Factoring is a very powerful tool, and that's what we're going to be using mostly for doing our polynomial
Simplifying
division.
is good to miss.
What is that, Mercedes?
Simplifying is good too.
Yeah, okay. But I'm saying we will be doing factoring. We will not be doing long division. We'll use factoring for simplifying our division problems. All right. Okay, so we're gonna stop here and I will be sending you some homework. All right.
I'm on a break, Miss Barbara.
That's okay, as long as you
I'm on a homework strike.
as long as you hand in your homework, it's okay to be on a break. As long as you get the homework and you can stay
That's a
on
good
your
one.
break.
Oh, God. I can't take a week off.
You can take it
Jeez.
off, but you just must turn in your homework.
Oh, crap. That's no deal.
How come you come
Oh, boy.
doing
Now,
good?
That's not a good deal.
in fact, I think when I send you the session, even though we didn't go through this, I'll give you some of this. This is another one where you break it down, each part of the numerator over the denominator, and then you get the answer.
Barbara, it's funny. She said after you're giving your homework, you could take all the break you want.
Yeah,
No,
that's-
this weekend I had my in-service to do. They give me a long old video for watch. I was doing so much. Jeez.
oh, somebody else on my other class said they had in service. You do that, what, twice a year?
No, every 3 months.
Every 3 months? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because remember COVID, they had to do the one with COVID. Remember with COVID, they had one more too.
Okay.
So it was a lot. And then I